All right. So now Mahomes versus Brady. This conversation has been going on, I want to say, since Mahomes came into the league his second year, had that beautiful season. They
Hold
were
on, hold on.
already.
Before you go, I
No,
just want to give a shout out to you and to me because our early playoff predictions was terrible, like
yeah, it was
terrible.
horrible.
We
It was
got it
horrible.
right this time, folks.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
it right. We picked the
yeah,
winner right. We picked the
yeah.
Chiefs over the 49ers. So
Yep.
big shout out to us. Make sure
Yeah.
y'all
Facts.
tap in with us. Like we said,
Facts.
money
Yeah.
line on the Chiefs. You hear me?
Y'all should have did that. But so, like I was saying, like this debate has been going on since Mahomes' second season in the league when he had that beautiful run. Um, and they've always compared him to one of the greats, which is Thomas Wayne Brady, right? Number 12. Okay. And I think, if we're gonna talk about it, shit, we gotta go through stats, man.
Let's
We got we
go.
got we got to talk about the stats, man. So, and this is them at 28 years old. So this is them at 28, both at 28, right? Passing rating: Tom Brady, 88. Mahomes, 103. Starts: Tom Brady, 78. Mahomes, 96. Right? Yards per attempt: Mahomes, 7.9. Tom Brady, 7.1. Interceptions at this time: Mahomes, 63. Tom, 66. Completion percentage: Mahomes, 66. Tom, 61. Record, right? Tom, 58. 58 wins, 20 losses. Mahomes, 74 wins, 22 losses. So you can just already see Mahomes had a little bit more of a more time starting during that
Yeah,
time
he played a little bit
because,
more.
Tom Brady was on the bench for a little bit longer.
And the
Um,
seasons also got extended to 17
and the
games.
season's also got extended 17. So it's a little bit of a gray area there. But seasons as a starter: Mahomes 6, Tom Brady 5. Division titles as a starter: Mahomes 6, Tom Brady 4. Pro Bowls: Mahomes 6, Tom Brady 3. And this is the shit that blew my mind. Passing yards: Mahomes 28,424 yards, Tom Brady 18,035
It's
yards.
10,000 more yards.
10,000 more yards. Game winning drives: Mahomes 16, Tom Brady 16. Passing touchdowns: Mahomes 219 passing touchdowns, Tom Brady 123 passing touchdowns. All right, and then fourth quarter comebacks: Mahomes 14, Tom Brady 11. League leader in passing yards, they both have one. League leader in passing touchdowns, Mahomes has two, Tom Brady has one. Winning percentages: Mahomes is 77%, Tom Brady 74%. League MVPs: do you know Tom Brady has never had a league MVP?
Not before 30.
Not before 30. Mahomes has two. First team All Pros: two Mahomes, zero Brady. Okay. Career earnings: 31.6 million Brady, 136.2 million Mahomes. So I mean, I mean, I mean,
Yo.
I mean, I, I, I don't know. And then let's go to Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
So conference championship appearances: Mahomes 6, Tom Brady 3. Super Bowl wins: Mahomes 3, Tom Brady 3.
Oh, three.
Super Bowl record: Mahomes 3-1, Tom Brady 3-0. Super Bowl MVPs: Mahomes 3, Tom Brady 2. So I mean, I mean,
What's your thoughts,
I mean,
man? What's your thoughts?
in the playoffs, Mahomes is 15-3, Tom Brady's 10-1. So Tom Brady's winning percentage is a lot higher. Passing yards: Mahomes got that. Touchdown: Mahomes got that. So I mean, my thoughts is, man, at this age, I mean, if Mahomes retired tomorrow, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's no question about it. If
But
if, if,
goat
if
wise, goat
yeah,
wise.
go. it's like you. What's that phrase you always say? What's that phrase you always say? You always say that phrase. It's in due time, or it's too early to tell, or some shit. You
Oh
always say
yeah,
a phrase.
yeah.
What's that phrase you always
It's.
say?
I mean, shit. I don't even know. I know it is way too early to tell, though. I mean, it's
Yeah,
still a lot of time left.
I can't. I mean, if I'm comparing them both at 28, then I'm gonna go with Mahomes at 28 years old. You know, his record itself is just blows Tom Brady's out in the water. Like, if there was no pictures on here, you would pick the record with the most wins, the most yards, the most touchdowns. He beats Tom Brady in a lot of categories.
No,
But
this was. Go ahead. My fault.
the GOAT. I mean, not really, because we don't really know. Because Mahomes has how many Super Bowl championships he has? He has
3,
three Super Bowl wins. Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowl wins,
7.
right? Seven Super Bowl wins. So to call him the GOAT, no, because Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with two different teams. Mahomes hasn't done that. He's been on Kansas City all the time. Um, Tom Brady came into the league as somebody that already had a chip on his shoulder. He came in, drafted 6th round, last pick. So I think 199th pick. So he's somebody nobody even knew about this kid. And Mahomes had some flair in college. They knew about him in college. He wasn't trash in college. He was
It was.
he was above average. He wasn't trash.
Yeah.
He was above average. But yeah, I think it's too early to tell. But I think definitely top quarterback. Mahomes at 28, top quarterback, GOAT. It's still Tom Brady, in my opinion, just because we just can't really put Mahomes as the GOAT yet. Only if he retires, right? If he retires right now, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Go ahead, bro. Let me hear yours. Let me hear your
I
take, man.
mean, I got a lot on it. So like, I'm gonna start with Brady came up playing in the early 2000s, right?
Yep.
So part of those numbers that you mentioned for me personally are um a little just a tad bit misleading from the standpoint that the game was so different in the early 2000s. There was still a heavy emphasis on running the
Oh
football,
yeah, 100%.
and
Yep.
those New England teams, they always had a good running game. They always had a pretty good
Yep.
running back on their team. They didn't
Yep.
rely on Tom Brady so much earlier in his career,
Yep.
to the extent that they did post 30,
Yep.
especially after he like tore his ACL and came back from that, and they got Randy Moss and stuff like that.
Yeah, that goddamn, that
You
was a crazy season,
know,
bro.
you
Probably his best season ever, I would say.
undefeated up
Yeah,
until the Super
that was
Bowl.
crazy.
So um, it was a different time at that point. So I'm not going to kill Tom as far as the debate goes for um before the age or 28 and under,
Yeah.
just because of the different styles of play at that point in time,
Yep.
when they were coming up. But what I will say, and um I was thinking about this, right? Because to me, this is like totally different from like when you compare MJ and LeBron,
And LeBron,
because
yeah,
we was so young when Mike was still in his prime that
that's
I don't
true.
know
Yeah.
if we got to enjoy it as much. Whereas obviously we get to see
No.
LeBron in his prime right
No.
now. With this, we saw Brady at his peak, we saw Brady at his best,
Yes.
and
Yes.
now we're
Yes.
getting to witness Mahomes in the midst of his prime, in the midst of being the best at this time.
Yeah.
In my opinion, just based on eye test, I would say Mahomes is the greatest quarterback that I've ever seen. And
Okay.
that's not taking nothing away from Tom Brady, because I think that situationally, Tom Brady was probably the best quarterback ever. Not
Oh yeah.
probably,
Oh yeah.
hands down, the best quarterback
Yeah.
ever
There's no question about that.
situationally.
No question about that.
Always capitalized on the big moment, made sure to get his team to those big moments, was the glue to those Patriots teams. So Tom is
And
obviously
sorry to cut you off, but let's not forget Tom always took a pay cut. He never
always,
went for the big pay. Always. So he
always.
was always a team guy. I don't give a damn what you say. Team first, winning championships first. He never took a big payday in New England ever.
Nah,
So
because
I can't. No other quarterback can say what he did. He always took less to keep everybody on the team happy. So
yeah, 100%. And
I mean,
he understood the value of the team around him, which you got to salute him for, because in an era where, like you mentioned, like everybody takes the big payday, everybody
Big
is
pay,
waiting for
big
their
pay.
big payday to cash out, not considering salary cap ramifications that's going to
Right,
have on the rest of your team. I think Mahomes will, in his own way, try and duplicate that if at all possible. I think he'll still make a lot of money just because
right.
there's so much revenue behind the NFL, period. They got
Yep,
so many
yep,
deals that there's an abundance of money to go around. But I think he'll find a way to take a slight little pay cut here and there to make sure that the team around him
yep,
um is still a contending team. But again, just like eye test wise, like it's just different. Tom Brady was a pocket passer, and
yep.
I think
Two
he
different
was a
play styles.
master in the pocket. Like his pocket awareness was second to none. He could feel the rush. He knew when to move up in the pocket. He knew how to move around in the pocket, even if he
Him and
wasn't.
Peyton Manning. Him and
Yeah,
Peyton
man.
Manning,
Even
one
if
of the
they
best.
weren't scramblers, they still knew how to maneuver through that pocket to avoid the rush and make the throws that was necessary. Now, Mahomes has a lot of that same stuff. Like he's really good with feeling the rush, with
Right.
feeling where the rush is coming from and avoiding the rush. He's also just way more athletic than Tom is at that point in his career. So Mahomes, for what he may look like, for what his frame is, the dude can move. The dude can
Yeah,
move, and when it's necessary for him to move, he gets up out of there and he'll get a good, nice chunk of yards. So it's almost impossible to defend him on the other side.
yeah.
Because if you play his own defense against him, he's going to pick
You
his
gonna
own defense
yep,
apart. Like he's going
yeah,
to he's going to find the open man. Him and Travis Kelsey at the very minimum, like, share a brain to the point where they're going to
yeah,
find the soft spot in the zone and take advantage. If you play man to man and you turn your back on him, he's going to take off on you. He's going to take off and he's going to pick up a good 20 yards, and you're going to be sitting back there wondering like, "Yo, what the heck just happened?" Cuz I thought we had him. I know from experience. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But um no, I think Mahomes is the GOAT, man. I think Mahomes, and if he's not the GOAT yet, based on like obviously championships and rings and things like that, I think eye test wise and I think like just skill set wise, he's the best that I've ever seen. I used to think that like it was Aaron Rodgers based on like not necessarily wins and like
Yeah, but just
championships,
how he
but
play, how he played.
yeah, like the eye
Yeah,
test and the way he could throw it at different arm angles and like move around the pocket and throw on the move. But this dude Mahomes is just like next level when it comes to
yeah,
that, man. Like he's not only is he a top athlete, like so he can do anything on the field, but he's also clearly cerebral. Like he's super cerebral in his preparation and in his awareness of the game. If you notice in a lot of those big games, because in the playoffs he's trailed a lot. Like he's been
yeah.
behind a lot. Um, he's one of those dudes that starts to figure it out, starts to figure out what you're doing and how you're defending him. In the like throughout the course of the game, and so he brings everything that Brady brought as far as preparation goes, film study goes, knowledge of the game goes, knowledge of the opposing team's defense, as well as what, like I mentioned, what Aaron Rodgers brings is that athleticism, that willingness to create something out of nothing, that ability to almost play like backyard football and
Right,
turn it into just a recreational thing where he's just running around and next thing you know he's finding an open receiver and it's a 30-yard gain on you when you thought you had him sacked for a 10-yard loss. So
right,
um he's got that effect, man. He's got that effect right now where people going to get tired of it. People are going to hate it. I hate it. I can't stand it. I'm ready for somebody to come and knock him off, but you got to
nah, that's
salute the
not happening
greatness,
anytime
man.
soon.
Like
I mean, I agree with your take, but I think, I think in our time, if we're talking about like him as a quarterback, as just being that guy, absolutely, he's been the greatest. I mean, I don't know. We grew up in both eras though, so it's kind of hard to kind of say is Mahomes the greatest quarterback we've seen. I mean, we have so many we can choose from. Like it's a wow. It's like I think anybody can make a comparison as to what quarterback. There's so many quarterbacks that have come, and you can make the debate as they've been the greatest you've seen. You could say Drew Brees probably was the greatest you've seen because he had the yardage, he had the numbers to prove it, he had the championship ring to prove it. You can say Peyton Manning, he got the yard, the number, championship touchdowns to prove it. You can say Tom Brady. You can say Patrick Mahomes. You can say Eli Manning. There's so many
Never
quarterbacks
saying
that
Eli.
no, I'm just saying you can make an argument. Like I wouldn't if somebody said I could argue that Eli Manning was one of my quarterbacks that I think was the greatest that played during my time. You can make the argument. He got two Super Bowl championship rings, and he beat the same team twice. So you can make the argument. He beat the guy that's called the greatest of all time. But the thing about this debate, and I think the same thing with the Jordan and LeBron debate, these guys faced each other, right? And one of them lost. So if someone's gonna make the comparison, well, Mahomes is better than Brady. No, Brady beat him already. He already lost to Brady.
Yeah,
Brady beat him. So
twice.
and yeah, so twice. So it's like you can't really. It's like it's already been orchestrated. It's already been written. I want to see what Mahomes is gonna do after this, right? So right
Yeah.
now he's at his peak. He's at his peak right now. He's at his peak. His prime is going to be when he gets to like 31, 32, and then past his prime is going to be when he gets to his mid 30s, late 30s, right? That's how it goes. I want to see what he's going to do once Andy Reid's not going to be coaching for the next 5 years. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Andy probably got 1 or 2 more years in him, and he's out of here. He's in his 60s already. I don't think he's going to stay until God knows how long. And next year, are they going to be able to keep everybody? There's so many particulars. Are they going to be able to keep up with the CJ Stroud? Is CJ Stroud coming back? Like, it's so many particulars that can they come back and do the same thing all over again? I don't think so.
But this is
I don't
why
think
I'm gonna
so.
counter that point, right? Because they said that same thing when Tyreek Hill left. They said that
Yeah,
when
okay,
Tyreek
okay,
Hill left,
okay.
like, yo, he lost his best weapon. Are they going to have enough to get it done? Where's the offense going to come from? And the guy has won 2 Super Bowls since that happened.
Yeah, but okay, but we can't say that Tyreek was his best weapon though.
He statistically he was.
I mean, okay, but I'm talking about someone that held the team together. It's Travis Kelce, bro. Travis Kelce is through and through his best weapon. Travis Kelce can catch the ball first, second, third down and get you where it needs to go. Let's keep it clear. All right. Tyreek Hill made a decision for him because it was money involved. And look where that landed to him. Look where that landed him. He's with a concussion called quarterback that can throw 4 to 5,000 yards but can't get the job done. That's where he's at.
He can't
And
play in sub 40-degree weather.
yeah, and he got another receiver on the other side of him where it's like, well, we should be dominating. So Tyreek Hill made a dumb decision. Everybody's gonna look back at that and say, yo, bro, that was dumb. Why did you do that? Why didn't you talk it out? Why didn't you say, yo, you know what? I want to stay longer. Come on, let's do something. Let's try to fix it. But
You know
no,
how
no,
receivers are, man. You know how
no. They want to
receivers
be
are.
prima donnas. They want to go where the money is. They want to go to Miami. And Miami's a good fit for him. He fits in Miami.
And
It's
he's from there.
fine.
He's from there too, for
He's
the
from there.
record.
It's fine. That's fine. But he's going to recall this and say, wow, I could have had 2 more championship rings. I could have had, I could be in the elite status of receivers, but I'm not. I'm not anymore. Right? That speed is only going to last him up to a certain point. He's not going to be fast forever. He's just not. He's going to be going down in speed, and he's not the tallest guy in the world.
Nah, he's not a
He's
big
not.
dude.
He's not going to last forever, man. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I
Nah,
just
my,
think
my
that.
only point was just to say that, like, the Chiefs have dealt with that. The Chiefs have
Oh,
had to
okay,
deal with the narrative of, yo, y'all lost such a great player, and
right.
how are y'all going to continue things? I think they've shown, at least for the past 2 years, that in spite of a piece or two that they may lose, that may be considered elite, that as long as they got that quarterback on the other side, that quarterback that we're 15, they'll be all right. Now, if you if you subtract Travis Kelce from the mix, now we having a different conversation.
That's a
Because
problem.
Travis Kelce's getting older too. He's not a young dude by no means. He's slowing down a little bit as well. Didn't have quite the regular season that he may be accustomed to
No.
having. He was sub 1,000 yards this year, even though he could have got it in the last game of the season if he chose to play. But
You know why? You know why?
oh yeah.
You know
I
why
can
though, right?
go ahead and tell me.
Taylor Swift. What do you think? What do you think? Well, let me say these 2 points. Let me get your take on these, right? These 2 points. I just want to say them. So the first one, we're now about to see, even though we've seen it in the past already, we're gonna see it more where we see more high-profile celebrities dating athletes in big markets, in small and big markets, and we're gonna see that a lot more. We just seen OBJ is dating who now? Kim Kardashian. So that's a thing, right? So I guarantee you we're going to see more of that because how much money do the Kardashians bring in on their little TV show? How much viewership do they bring in? A lot. So what do you think the NFL is doing behind closed doors right now? They're making these deals, and this is alleged, by the way. This is just my conspiracy theory. They're making these deals with these celebrities. Hey, we need you to do 7, 8 games this season appearances. We'll cut you a check for such and such, but you're gonna bring in your viewership. You're gonna tell your fans. You're gonna do a little promotion for us, but we'll cut you a little bit of check. Guarantee you this is gonna happen. All right. I
We'll
want your take
see.
on that.
We'll
I want
see.
your take on that, and then I want your take on this. I heard something. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that Jason Kelsey is gonna go play with Kansas City next year because he wants to play a year with his brother before he retires. Because he hasn't retired yet. He ain't retired yet.
And
He
he's a
ain't
free
making a
agent.
decision yet. So let me get your take on the first one, and I want your take on the second one.
All right. So first one, boom, on the celebrities day NFL players. They could try it, but no Taylor Swift is the biggest celebrity in the world. So
Okay.
anybody, even Kim Kardashian, can't hold a candle to Taylor Swift right now.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
So
Of course not.
I mean, I'm sure there will be attempts made by not just maybe the league, but by celebrities themselves to try and capitalize on the impact that Taylor Swift has had on
Right.
the NFL. I don't think it's duplicable though. I don't think that anybody can duplicate what Taylor Swift did to me, and I don't get as caught up in it as some other people. To me, what she did was super organic. It was super spur of the moment. I don't think that anybody necessarily expected it or that it was something that like people were looking
Come on,
for.
Chris. Come on,
No,
Chris.
seriously.
You telling me this wasn't orchestrated, bro? Come on, bro. You
I,
serious?
I don't think that it was. I mean,
You are too naive,
once
my
we get
brother.
further into the season, I mean, I'm sure the NFL realized like, hey, we got a golden opportunity here, having the biggest star in the world show up to our games every single week. I'm just talking about strictly from Taylor Swift's perspective, that
Yeah.
it was just an organic. I'm just going to the game to support that dude. Now, once the
Mm.
NFL realized how much they were benefiting from it, of course they're going to put the cameras on her every chance they
Oh
get
yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
she's the
Absolutely.
biggest star in the world. She's actually active during the games, like showing emotion and stuff like that
Yeah.
during the game. So it plays well for the NFL. I don't think Taylor Swift gained anything from it. It's not like she got new fans because she was showing up to
I
the
mean, she
games.
probably did. We can't
Most of them
discount
people
that.
was probably already Taylor Swift fans just based off of the amount of attention that she already draws.
Right.
So, I mean, from that standpoint, again, I think her role in it was strictly organic in terms of supporting Travis. Now, once we get to like the playoffs and stuff like that, there may be an agenda behind it that's a little bit deeper. I just don't think that that's replicable for somebody else to do because Beyonce ain't single, so she not coming to the games to
No,
support
no,
no.
I never said it was replicable. I said we're gonna see more of it. That's what I said.
I mean, I
I
just
didn't say it's gonna be the same thing. I said we're gonna see more of, and I said that clear. I said it's been done already in the past, but we're gonna see more of celebrities dating more athletes for whatever it brings to, whether it's promotion, whether it's marketing, whatever it may be. I just said we're gonna see more of it. That's all I said.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't say
no,
that
no, no,
it's
no,
gonna
no,
be
no.
that
I mean,
somebody gonna do the same thing as Taylor Swift. That's impossible.
right, right, right.
You know, bringing in $30 to $40 million extra in revenue, like that's impossible.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody else doing that.
Nah, not at all. I
Ain't
mean,
nobody
I
else doing
agree
that.
with you from strictly just your question, and I think we probably will see a little bit more celebrity athlete relationships, and then it's not just going to be exclusive to football. Like
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
start seeing celebrities dating
Mm-hmm.
basketball players and sitting courtside or getting
Yeah.
box seats and stuff like that.
I
So
mean, we already seen a cougar already on CJ Stroud. I've already seen highlights of that.
yeah,
Amber
yeah.
Rose, Amber Rose.
Oh man, you don't want to do that, CJ. You don't want to do
No,
that, CJ.
I'm saying, bro. Like there's a video. Amber Rose already commented. It's already on Instagram. I seen it that she was in the limo with him driving somewhere or something like that.
It's a
And
bad
she came
move.
on some, oh no, I don't even know the dude. He offered me a ride. He's so nice and generous. And he dropped me off to X, Y, and Z. I'm thinking, I'm like, what?
Man, she got a tattoo across her forehead. Don't
Yeah,
do
she's for
it.
the birds, man. She's for the
Don't
birds.
do it,
But
CJ.
get to my next point.
Um, I don't see it happening. I just flat out don't see
What?
it happening.
What?
Um, Jason Kelsey is an all-time Eagle, like point blank. Period. So I mean, listen. I mean, this is the thing. To my knowledge, Kansas City's center may be locked up. I think his name is Creed Humphreys. I could be wrong, but they have at least a Pro Bowl center in place.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless you sign in Jason Kelsey to a 1 year deal and benching your All Pros or your Pro Bowl center, I don't see that happening.
But
I
it's not
mean,
like you get you. It's not like you get somebody that's trash though. You get
no, no,
Jason
no,
Kelsey, who's
no,
also an All-Pro center, who's also going to be into the Hall of Fame, who's also has a championship ring, who also has longevity behind him. So you making it seem like he a bum, he
no,
trash.
no,
Is
no.
that
But
what I'm hearing from an Eagles
hell
fan?
no, hell
All right,
no.
I'm just saying, that's what it
Jason
sounded like,
Kelsey
bro.
is the
That's what it sounded
best.
like.
Jason Kelsey is the best center in the NFL, even at his age. He's the best center in the NFL. Period. I just don't think that Kansas City is in the business of breaking up their cohesiveness. They paid so much money to fix that offensive line up in the first place, that offensive line up in the first place,
Right.
to the point that I don't know if that's even a worthy investment. Now, if you got somebody like Travis campaigning for it, then I can see them maybe possibly entertaining it. But Jason Kelsey ain't gonna be a cheap price tag either, and they need help other places as well. So if
Yeah.
it's not a inherent need of theirs, then why delve out top of the line money for a 1 year deal for a center that's not going to be around next year? Because if he plays the 1 year with with Travis, he's just going to retire, and then at
So
that point you got to find a new center.
here's how I see it happening, right? Because you said
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kelsey is a free agent, right? If I'm correct, he's a free agent, so he's not going to be on the Eagles next year. He's going to be
It
free agent.
could be. I mean, his first
If
choice
they
is
if
probably going
they
to be the Eagles.
okay, if they re-sign him or he's going to retire, whatever, right? Here's why I see it going Kansas City, right? Who was the coach that drafted him again?
Andy Reid.
Andy freaking Reid with the handlebar mustache. So I think that their chemistry speaks volumes. I mean, even when he speaks about Andy Reid, he holds him in such a high regard. So I can kind of see it where he does come to Kansas City for a league minimum, and whether he plays or not, I think he just wants to he probably wants to get that time with his brother. They'll do that, and then he'll retire, but then probably come back to do a thing with the Eagles where he come back and then retire with the Eagles, and then he's done. I see that as a fairy tale ending because he can say I played with my brother for a year. I was able to play with him in college. I was able to play with him in NFL. I don't see why not. But I get the logistics of it. What you're saying, like they wouldn't pay money, blah blah blah. I get that. But I also see like their relationship, right? They have a podcast. Their podcast is pretty dope and it's pretty hot. It's not a run of the mill regular podcast. Their podcast is pretty lucrative, right? Their podcast. They have good dynamic. That one show he did, that Kelsey documentary, that was pretty good too. That wasn't a bad documentary. Did you watch it?
Mm-mm.
And you're an Eagles fan? What the hell is your problem?
Come on, man. I'm too
So
tapped into the season, brother.
I watched it, and it was a great documentary, and actually made me understand his family life and where he came from, and how his family coached him up and all this other stuff. And it made me realize this man didn't even want to play another season in the NFL because he's such a family man. He didn't even want to play another year. He was getting ready to retire. And I really think it. And I agree with you on the other side. Then it doesn't happen, but for another reason, because his wife is so loyal to Philadelphia. He's loyal to Philadelphia too, but his wife is such a sports person that she's just like, even at the Super Bowl, you seen it. He had Kansas City stuff on.
She
She didn't have nothing.
refused.
She had Cincinnati. She
She
had University of
refused.
Cincinnati stuff on.
And I love
So
that, man. Shout out to
yeah,
her.
she's a very loyal, down to earth girl. Like I encourage you to watch that documentary. I encourage everybody to watch that documentary about Jason Kelsey on Amazon Prime. A very good documentary about a man who played the league as long as he had, earned his right, earned his keep, but also battling issues when it comes to, should I still keep playing at my age? I have a family now. What should I do? And I think every man kind of goes through that, not on the NFL level, but just in general when it comes to like taking a different position at work, changing career fields. Am I missing my kids this? Am I missing my kids that? Where am I in life? And I think every man struggles with that internal strife of, am I being the dad that I want to be because I'm not here majority of the time? I'm missing things. So I think I took it from that perspective. But I didn't mean to get all long-winded like that. But like I said, I agree with you both ways. I think he can go for the sentimental value of being with his brother, being with his first coach, being in that dynamic, or he can go with the Eagles, play another year, or just retire and just be like, I'm done.
I think he's gonna retire.
Yeah,
I see him leaning towards retirement. Shout out to Jason Kelsey, yo. As an Eagles fan, I
yeah.
really, really do appreciate you for all the work that you put in over the past decade plus, man. You gave me a lot of great memories. 2017, 2018 was one of the best years of my life as a sports fan. So thank you, Jason Kelsey. No matter what you decide, you are an all-time Eagle. I'll always be appreciative, and whatever you
First ballot
decide,
Hall of
best of
Famer
luck to
too.
you. Yeah, a
First
hundred
ballot
percent,
automatic.
a
First
hundred
ballot.
percent, man, a
First
hundred
ballot. I don't
percent.
think there's not a no candle to it. But you know what? Oh, I think our next segment when we do talk, we need to talk about how people get inducted into the Hall of Fame, because a lot of people they trying to put in the Hall of Fame right now, they don't belong there.
I gotta look up
So I
the
think
list. I seen
you
Devin Hester was the
look up
highlight of the list.
yeah, Devin has to look up the 2024 inductees and the name they got on there. We'll talk. We'll push it for another segment,
Yeah.
but just we'll talk about that next time.